I've got Eric Bowen. Dear God, you are the last of a dying breed. The flag-waving American. Well, your little dream will soon be over.
Hey all, welcome back. Welcome to tonight's segment. I hope you're all having a great day. It's been a couple months, hasn't it? Well, things have been busy around here. Closing up the holidays, working a bunch of overtime for my regular job. And recently, and unfortunately, I lost a brother, my best friend. We've known each other for 37 years. We grew up together. And today, he's resting in the Lord's arms. And now, he's watching over all of us. He was a good man, a good Christian man, a great father, a great husband, and of course, a great friend. So today, I dedicate today's segment to my brother. I miss you, and I love you, and I'll see you again soon, but not yet. D.E.I. Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Sounds like a good idea. Giving a marginalized individual the chance to advance in their profession or skills. But solely based on skin color, their culture, or flat out race. Sounds racist to me. When it comes to advancing in a profession, or in anything that we do, a contractor, doctor, even as a YouTube host. All right. I know my faults. I know there are people out there that are better at this than I am. But I'm still doing it, and I'm learning. And when it comes to big YouTube channels, well, all the big production, the big cameras, the freaking incredible microphones, the lighting, makeup, wardrobes, the classes for acting and speeches, I would highly expect someone who is by far superior at this than me to get a position at a YouTube channel or a streaming service. Because they have better experience. They have more experience. They're more qualified. And to me, I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care about your cultural background. You have the experience. You have the skill set. Flat out, you're better. You're better at doing that job. But not with DEI. It wouldn't matter. Because let's say, well, number one, I'm white. Well, I am Hispanic, half Hispanic. But to the outside, to those that actually use DEI, I'm white. I would be the last choice when it comes to diversity, equity, or inclusion. Now, the reason I'm going here is I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the, I believe it's the Hannah Guiterrez trial for the Alec Baldwin shooting on the set of Rust. The reason why I'm bringing up DEI is I've gone through 2 days of court footage, literally listened to every single minute of the first 2 days of this case. And it's troubling. Alec Baldwin is probably going to go to jail, or at least will serve some sort of time. And the reason being is the individuals that worked on the set of this film were the result of D.E.I. And unfortunately, in this case, it should be D.I.E. Because these policies set forth by mega studios, corporations, and even some small businesses, this is why it's not safe. D.E.I. is not safe for the people around us, especially if it's an important job. If you needed a surgery and the most qualified doctor is out there in the hospital that you're at, he can't give you that surgery because he doesn't have that position. Why? Because someone of a marginalized cultural background or race may have gotten that position because of D.E.I. They botched the surgery. You end up handicapped or die on the operating table. Now, regardless of skin color, wouldn't you want the most qualified individual to take care of that surgery for you? Regardless of race or culture. It doesn't matter to me. I want the most experienced, the most qualified individual to perform that job. And the reason why I say this is in the 2 days of watching this coverage, it was very obvious that those that have worked this set for this movie were D.E.I. employees. First, the set manager was is a white female lesbian. No big deal. So what? But this young woman had 4 other movies under her belt that she had worked on as set manager. Now, one of those movies required an armorer for a movie. She had 0 experience with having to work on a movie that had firearms or those kind of special effects. Second of all, the armorer who worked this movie, who handled the firearms that the cast members used during the shooting. I don't mean like shooting, but I mean like the shooting of the film. It was her responsibility to lock and protect and make sure that these firearms do not get into the hands of other people who are not supposed to be handling them. And what happens is the irresponsibility of this woman, mind you, is another, no offense, not trying to be offensive here, but she, of course, is another one of the LGBTQ community. She is also another diversity hire. Previously, this particular armorer worked on 2 films. 2 films. Rust being her second film as an armorer. And the first one was a Nicolas Cage direct-to-streaming, of course, called The Old Ways. And in that movie, Nick Cage had gotten so upset with her, the same armorer that was handling this Rust movie, the same armorer, had accidental discharges several times on the filming of The Old Ways with Nick Cage. Nick Cage being a veteran of action movies. He knows what he's doing. Might not be the best actor anymore, but he still knows what he's doing when he's around the props like this. He was so upset, he walked off shooting. He refused to work with her. She was removed from that movie because of the recklessness, of the lack of responsibility with these firearms. Removed. Why would you have someone like that on your set? Someone with no experience. Someone who is reckless with the firearms, regardless, props or not. But then she gets this job from Alec Baldwin to be the armorer on this Western, Rust. through the course of the shooting, there were several accidental discharges, according to set members. There were several the film crew itself, the original film crew of this movie, walked off the set of this movie and refused to work with these people for the simple fact their lack of care, their negligence, and they left. The following day, a new camera crew comes in. This armorer, the night before, with several of her friends, had these prop weapons and commingled live rounds with the prop rounds because they were out shooting at cans the previous night. And instead of taking care of, these firearms and keeping them separate, knowing that these are being used on set the following day, still use them in live target practice. That morning, Alec Baldwin was being Alec Baldwin, arguing with the director and the set crew. He gets angry. Now, many of you probably heard the story where he was so angry and he pointed the gun at the director or one of the directors and shot the gun. And there was an accidental death. Well, I got news for you. He didn't pull the trigger once. He pulled it twice, hitting another staff member or another set employee in the arm. 2 people were shot, not 1. So if you're pulling the trigger once and it was an accident, it's an accident. You pull the trigger twice, that's not an accident. That's on purpose. So unfortunately for Mr. Baldwin, he's probably going to be charged as well in this. And right now, watching this case, it goes to show you how the left has absolutely zero knowledge of firearms. No respect for what they hold in their hands. None. And these are the same ones that want to take guns away from you and I. The responsible ones who store them properly, who clean them properly, who, here, you can just take it, do whatever you do. You can do whatever. We don't leave it sitting on our, couch, or they're protected. And these are the same ones that want to take the guns away from you and I. And they're the ones that are doing this. They're the ones that are negligent. But yet they want to blame us. It's a bunch of crap. You know it and I know it. But yeah. D.E.I. No experience. She wasn't trained properly. She wasn't shown how to be responsible as an armorer on the set of a movie. And you have history. Twice now. Twice. And you're going to hire a set manager. Zero experience with working with an armorer. D.E.I. is D.I.E. for the simple fact that lack of experience got a director shot and another set member shot because of recklessness, lack of experience. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is what it gets you. That is one thing I wish the left would actually wake up and see. They want to talk about being woke. They're not woke. They're racist. They're just trying to find another way to sugarcoat it and make it sound all pretty and try and make us look like the bad guys. When in fact, they are. But that's just my opinion. Kind of makes you angry, doesn't it? The concept sounds beautiful. Giving someone the opportunity to move up and advance in a field that they're in. But unfortunately, it's not based on experience. It's based on skin tone, culture. Who's marginalized? Not who's the best at it. Not who's been apprenticing to an armorer for years, understanding how to handle firearms or explosives. No. Just because that she is a woman of a marginalized class, she got this position. And it got someone killed. That is DEI. Good night.